Hello and welcome to C40i's podcast, North of Ordinary. I'm joined today by Andy and Craig from MKM. MKM is one of the UK's largest independent builders merchants and one of Hull's biggest business success stories. So for all those who don't know MKM, tell us a bit about how it started and where it's developed from, because it started in 95?
1995, yeah.
Excellent. And where is it from then to today?
So it was founded by David Kilburn, 1995, one branch. I think there's like 4 or 5 people working there back then. And now we are, I think it's 147 branches, 1.2 billion pounds of revenue turnover and something like 3,500 people working for us.
Wow. And why was it started? Was Dave Kilburn a builder or?
He worked for another builders merchants and got made redundant, so decided to set up a business with his friend. And
Age 50
or 50, yeah, 50, and then it just went from there.
And is he still around today in the business?
Yeah, he's seen from time to time. He's probably less involved than he used to be. Kate, the new CEO, joined. I say new, she's 5 years in now, but she joined, and David's obviously gradually stepped away from the day-to-day duties. But yeah, he's still on the board, and you still see him around the office from time to time.
Excellent. So what makes MKM different to other builders merchants in the city, in the area, in the country?
So I think, MKM, and from my experience, I've been in the business almost 5 years to the day. And I hadn't actually worked in a builders merchant industry before. Worked in a big digital background, having worked for kind of Vodafones of the world, BTs and Heineken in my recent days. And basically digitising and bringing people online. But for me, as a builder merchant, what does it make it? Why are we different? We badge ourselves, but we're basically a local business. Mm-hmm. We've got a national presence. And even when I joined in 2021, I think we had about 74, 75 branches, Andy. We're now over, obviously, around about the 147 mark. So it's crazy how much we've grown.
Yeah.
But the difference is it's local business for local people. And obviously our model is that the branch directors know the area, or we've recruited from other businesses, or they've come in and joined us. They know the market, they know the local people, and they're able to run their businesses to quite an extent to how they want to run the business. Obviously, it's governed under our central support model, and we support, but we're called central support, right? People call us, if somebody calls us head office, we'll get ourselves into trouble with that. Not really, but
yeah.
But do you know what I mean? We genuinely, I don't think I've even used that word. We are a support organisation, and we all exist in our jobs, and it doesn't even need to be drilled in. It's like we are there to support the branches to make their lives easier, not more difficult, and ask them to send in lots of reports and fill in lots of forms and various stuff. We're there genuinely as a central support organisation to make their lives easier. And you've got that entrepreneurial spirit over these 147 branches run locally, but we've got a national presence, and we've doubled in size since I've been there.
So were you brought on specifically to digitalise or to enhance that?
Andy and I, our starting point, we're a digital department, but the first job that we had was to replace an existing website, and I think they maybe tried to replace it a number of times over 9 years. And what was there was working, but it wasn't working to its full capability, and there was quite a bit of probably legacy technology there. And like the opportunity was there to basically reset.
I was going to say, did you just start from
we had the opportunity, and that was how Andy kind of not sold the job. When Andy and I spoke in January 2021, even the wee story, it was genuinely, he had taken the job as digital and marketing director, and we worked together at Heineken. And he was just asking some advice. You've done this, you've set up teams before, how would you do this, what would you think of that? And we spoke for probably over an hour.
Yeah.
Probably sitting with a beer in
our
own kind of huts in our garden, or man caves, or gin cat caves, or whatever they're called. And we just talked, and then at the end of it, actually, it seemed quite an exciting job that he'd taken on, and basically we kind of...
Did you say, is there any room for me?
Well, I can't remember who... I think
I really fancy this. I was
and you're like, oh...
I was like, you've got a really cushy job at Sky, which is 15 minutes from your house. Why would you want to join a business 5 hours drive away?
But I was energised by that e-commerce thing, the digital thing, and actually the business. And I've actually got a friend who's a branch director anyway, and I knew him and he already worked for MKM, and he always spoke about good things. So I connected the conversations, and before I knew it, I was coming to Hull.
I was just saying, have you
working.
relocated then?
No. Just once every 4 weeks I relocate. I just come down for three days every month now. I came down quite a lot at the start,
Yes.
a bit more to get to know the business, but it is unique, and I'm not trying to do a sales job on it. I mean, I've worked for 32, 33 years now, and by far MKM is the best business I've ever worked for.
Is it the culture?
It's the culture.
Yeah.
It's
Is
the
it
culture.
people?
It's the people, the empowerment that you're kind of given to kind of crack on and do stuff, and we're allowed to do that, and that comes from the top all the way down, and I think it is unique. So it's unique in its culture, but it's unique in its business model. And we've had jinx it now. We've had quite a stable team, and genuinely there seems to be quite a lot of happy, stable people, in many of the teams.
Yeah.
There as well. It's a different business. It's just different. It's not something I've worked under before. So
But the values remained core and
100%.
Yeah.
5 years consistently.
Yeah, we're a relationship-based business, and it's all about your people. And I think, to follow on from what Craig was saying there, we don't really mandate a lot to the branches.
Mm-hmm.
The message is very simple: that don't break the law, don't hurt anybody, and make us some money. Other than that, just go and run your branch how you see fit. So they have complete autonomy at the branch to sell whatever products they want to whatever price they want. They can hire who they want. They don't, we don't.
Wow, a lot of people.
Yeah. So we
take
don't.
a message from that, couldn't they, in the business? Yeah. That's a great...
It creates a culture that, it allows you to be entrepreneurial, it allows the branches to trade, and that goes through our teams as well. We don't have to justify everything we do to anybody in the business. We, our boss Kate gives us lots of great free rein to do it, and she trusts that we're doing the right thing, and the results on the back of it show.
Yeah.
And the tradespeople must value that as well, that, being able to, build a rapport with you, build a relationship, and just say, look, I'm a regular now, come on, what can you...
We've got so many stories where you've got branch directors who have been best men at the customers' weddings, or
Really?
godparents, or, they go play golf together every week, and we're very different in that we don't helicopter branch directors into a branch that we've built for them. All our branch directors are from the area, and we build the branch where they want us to build the branch.
Excellent. And do you like to put local people into...
All local people in local branches, yeah.
And
It
do you
doesn't
find that-
work if you don't, because they're part of the community. They support. These guys sponsor the local football team, and they do various things in the communities around charity events and all that kind of stuff. And it's everybody knows them. They've been born and bred there, so it's not not just some strange faces.
You see MKM, it's brilliant on Facebook and Instagram. You'll see MKM sponsoring local ice hockey teams to under-11s football teams. So you'll see that MKM logo in lots of different places, and it's not all mandated. It has to be this and has to be that.
They go around and collect like the poppy appeal things and old Christmas trees and get rid of them from the communities, and put bulk bags out, and there's a festival to use as bins, and just small gestures. The community park fence blows down or burns down. We'll replace it for them. It's a completely different model and completely different way of operating than what you'd see in a lot of the other businesses.
Yeah.
Because you in Hull, you get involved with the Run With It teams. You get, and I read recently that you, because of the Tigers going down to Wembley, there was a guy and his dad coming from Australia but didn't have a ticket.
Yeah.
And didn't you step in so that they could...
Yeah, we do. There's stuff like that happens every day.
But then you've got the MKM Stadium as
At the
well.
MKM Stadium, yeah. We do a lot of stuff
you're
for
a
the Tigers
Premier.
Trust as well and things. So
That's right.
Premier club
We're
now.
on Sky Sports next year, I think.
Wow.
Or this year, should I say.
And haven't you got a seat in the stadium?
Or the couch. The yellow
couch, yellow couch.
yeah, we put those in best seat, or the padded seats. We call now best seat in the house. Yeah. So when we part of activating the sponsorship brand is how you do that. So we give that. We do lots of things actually, but that's just one of the things we do in the stadium. We give that out as competitions, and you can go with, I think it's 6 seats, and you can take family and friends, and you get a lot of food and drinks, and
That's
there's a
amazing.
bit of merch and things like that. And
Yeah.
It's good. It's nice.
Excellent.
And I mean, just maybe one last thing on the people and the culture and what we do in our team is that, we're a digital team, but people actually want to visit the branches, but developers or UX or product owners, Scrum, anybody in the team or I think I covered product owner there, and our kind of test QA guys as well, and our merchandisers. People visit branches.
Yes.
So we're connected to the business. So like I said, I'm down 3 days a month. I'm still connected to the business because I go to branches in Scotland and I'll go and visit them. I'll go and do stuff. And it is quite interesting, even the lines blurring roles, like we're going to roll out something new in branches to pay by bank payments. I'm going to take the kit and help them set it up.
So it's not as if, that's not my job kind of thing.
We're all entrepreneurial. Mm-hmm. We don't say strictly we've got our core jobs, but we'll get in amongst stuff that you wouldn't normally do. And I think the business allows you. Yeah,
we'd never say you're going to use this technology or you're going to do this. We say we've got an idea, we think it might help with this problem, or do you want us to come and try it? And some branches will say yes, and some will say no.
So we build community branch directors.
There's nothing top down in that kind of respect.
We try and build ideas. We start small. We do it. They like it, and guess what? Branch directors talk to each other and they go, "We've done this, and it's generated this.
Yeah.
Oh, can I have a bit of that?" And then slowly but surely, some ideas kind of organically grow and kind of kick on.
We do encourage the team to go and sit in branches as well. Just go and sit and work, talk to customers, talk to the staff, try and find out what the pain points are. How can we make their lives easier? How do we remove friction and things like that? And that's stuff you can't just get sitting behind a desk.
Yeah.
Or anecdotally, you've got to sit and experience it.
Yeah, when I joined, I went in the trucks. Delivered stuff to
we make everyone
customers.
Trucks, don't we?
People have gone out with the deliveries, and you get to experience it. Obviously, all health and safety in place and everything like that. But you're there to kind of see how the business actually works. So you spend time with branch, you appreciate why we're there and what we're supporting.
Yeah, we mandate that in our team. In your first week, do your inductions, go spend a day in branch, and they'll take you out on deliveries and go. And you have to see how a builder's merchants works. And
so because they can't say, it's them up there in their glass offices. They haven't got a clue what happens on the ground floor, kind of thing.
Yeah, we get part of the same team, aren't we? Then?
Yeah.
We get our ideas from speaking to the branches, the staff, the branch directors, and even when you're in branch. I was on a supplier day with a branch in Scotland recently, and I met some contacts there, and we're using them to help us build and test some digital solutions, because we've spoken to some young tradesmen who want to do things a little bit differently. Oh, could you do that? Could you do this? So we use a community of people to kind of float our ideas by. We don't just sit in ivory towers and make up something, just put it online. We'll actually speak to people.
I was going to say, how much listening do you do to the tradespeople saying, we need this, this is going to make my life so much easier, because you've got an app now, haven't you?
We've got an app,
that helps people.
Yeah. Look, we never stop doing qualitative and quantitative studies on customers, what they're doing. So we have tons of data points, analytics and things like that we can look at, but at the end of the day, our UX guys and some of the other teams need to sit in front of customers and actually find out, because sometimes they don't articulate what they need. They'll talk about a problem.
Yeah.
So we don't really focus on roadmap items. We focus on problems to solve. So we'll say, there's an issue with this, or we think we can improve this, and then we'll try. If there's a suitable digital solution for that, we'll explore it. But it's never a case of just saying we are going to do this because we think it's because Amazon did it.
Yes.
Yeah, if that makes sense.
Not just because. It's got to be a genuine.
Got to qualify it.
Yeah. And when people come into store or go on the app, have behaviours changed over the years of how people are interacting with you?
I think so. I think the app when we joined, the website when we joined was pretty poor, to the point where some branches were advising their customers not to use it. And
was it a cause of frustration for a lot of people?
It was poor.
It was a real pain point.
So and it's been a massive hearts and minds exercise, and I think our world's changed massively since those days, since we've replatformed, and we've seen some really significant numbers going through the app as well now, and the website. And I think customer behaviour is starting to change. We're seeing more and more trade customers use the app and website, and not always just for purchasing. It might be paying invoices, checking orders, checking status of orders, it might just be checking that we sell it. We get a lot of people who, we have some products that are dropship where you can only buy them online. Well, we only surface them online. And when we look at these products and then how many have been bought in branch, so the customers researched online and bought offline, so ROPO. So you see quite a lot of that, and we see that in the millions every year. So and customers value relationships. They want to go. They want to make sure the product's right. They want to make sure they can get it on a specific time. They want to go have a chat with the mate behind the counter, and they also probably want to haggle a bit and see if they can get a bit cheaper.
Because I was going to say, you don't want the digital side of it to weaken your relationships with these people, do you?
It should strengthen it, and I think it does. And Andy and I have spoken about this. I don't. As much as we built the website and we trade the website as part of our team, we support the branches sell their products. I'm actually not bothered whether they buy it online or not. It's actually providing them the tools to help them price their jobs, plan their jobs, and so on. And they may use the website to maybe buy the stuff in the evening or price the jobs up, and then they go into branch and then they have the conversations and kind of maybe negotiate or buy more and all that kind of stuff. But it's more providing the tools to help them do their jobs. If they buy online, brilliant. If they plan it online and they look at all the pricing and they go into branch and they spend the money in branch, brilliant. It's basically a sale for the business, but the website's also a shop window, and the app is a shop window for us as a business, so it's got to be credible. So when people look on there, they want to see a good range of products. They want to see them at kind of competitive prices and so on. But our model is quite interesting that, and many others do it, is that you've got customers. We obviously sell products and different sets of products in different branches, but these products will be priced differently based on your terms. So if you're a trades guy who's traded for quite a long time with the business and your spend's X, you'll probably get a cheaper rate, and they'll see that rate online when they log in, so they can buy the products at the rates they've agreed in branch. If you're new to the business or you're just a guest, a retail customer, you may pay a slightly different price, but you've got to hope that's also competitive with the local market that you're competing with. And that's just the way a builder's merchant. There are different prices for the products based on your size and your spend. And the website allows us to trade in that way as well, which is quite unique for trades, for kind of standard e-commerce sites. You don't go on Amazon, everybody gets different prices. You all get the same price.
Yeah.
Unless you buy a Prime membership and you get your free delivery. But MKM is slightly different in that respect, but it's there as a tool for the job to help, tools for the job to help the trade.
Enhancing rather than...
and supporting. It's not to take people out the branch or anything like that. It's to basically help help us trade, make it easier for customers.
Because construction has always been viewed really as a traditional business. So you've got your traditional builders and such like. How has that changed in the construction, the trade section, way that they approach you, really, kind of thing? Do they get stuck in the ways and will adapt to the new?
Some will. Some will never transact online, and
they never will,
and that's fine. And I think we've got an increasingly aging customer base. I think at any one point, 45% of our customers will be retiring in the next 5 to 7 years. So it's quite a lot. So you've got this, and I guess a new generation of tradespeople are probably a bit more digital native. They've got an iPad for the 5th birthday and et cetera, et cetera. So they're way more comfortable with shopping online, and they trust online tools and payments and things a lot more than probably your traditional tradesperson would. They probably value relationships a bit less.
Yeah.
I think one thing that with all the customer studies we've ever done, one thing that's always rang true and has been consistent since the day I joined was that time massively shapes our customers' behaviour. So, if their drill breaks, they are not driving past a screw fix to come to an MKM. They're going to go to the nearest place because it's a distress purchase and get back on the job. So you know that they're splitting their sales between multiple merchants and things like that. But what we are finding is that more and more are starting to trust online, and I couldn't honestly tell you if that's some of the older, more traditional guys migrating over to digital. But it's probably more likely that the new breed of tradespeople who are more organised and tend to have, do a lot more digital things and plan their jobs electronically rather than on a book and things like that. So, and I think that'll keep going. We're seeing more and more tradespeople. The trade view retail split changes in favour of trade every month online, and that doesn't seem to be slowing down, does it? We seem to
it's
get
grown
more and
quite
more.
A bit online.
But we've done a lot. We've done an awful lot of work to build, what Craig was saying around credibility and perception of the web and digital tools, and leaning into that sort of economy where customers what they expect to see. So, you want tools that help them get the jobs done, estimation tools, calculators for things like U-values and things like that, and putting all that online so, they're not solely reliant on branches and other third parties doing it for them. So we just try and, to be honest, we just try and remove friction. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's how we do.
To Andy's point, you talk about, a younger generation of builders. I met a guy recently, he's a customer of MKM for one of our branches. Late 20s, I think, early 30s. But in his joinery business, and it's a reasonable sized firm, he kind of fronts a lot of the social media, and they've got their website to advertise, and they use Facebook and Instagram, and he's got it all set up that he knows how many people are visiting and how many people then call and how many sales they probably get out of it. So he knows how to track all of that.
Yes.
So he's kind of into digital marketing. So you're speaking to a guy like that, and actually we use this chap. He's helping us critique something new that we're doing on the website about planning jobs, projects, and being able to save lots of stuff as different projects. And then you can convert that project into a basket and buy all your materials, or you could send it as a quote into branch and you buy it from branch. So we're doing some cool stuff in that space, but we're using trades guys to kind of help us shape what do they want.
Yeah.
So it's just different generations, but we try to support everybody. But yeah, I think some of the younger guys who, like Andy said, they're probably given an iPad when they were 5, being stereotypical. They've had technology from day one.
Yeah. And if the more online, the more trends you can see and watch more closely, can't you? I suppose if somebody's buying A and B, they're more likely to buy C as well.
I mean, you do gap analysis, and we look at what products complement as well. So you can offer them. Again, a lot of things we talk about is around the right products, the right time, in the right quantities, and the right availability. So, very basic things. If you're buying fence posts and panels, you're probably going to need some postcrete or some post mix, and you might need some screws, and you might need whatever. So it's just about surfacing those materials at the right time, because all we're doing is replicating what they do in branch. If you go into the branch and say, I want 5 fence panels and 7 posts, they're going to say,
what are you doing? You need this.
Do you want 15 bags of post mix to go with it, postcrete to go with it, sort of thing. So we try and match that up, but we're not expecting building materials either. So when you get some of the really complicated stuff, and especially where it affects your building regulations, we need the branches to help us in that. So actually, what products do go well together? What are the what are the product and brand adjacencies that we need to be aware of? So, buying a Velux window or a window kit, you need, it's not just a window, there's other components that go with it. That gets, and as you move through some of our categories, they get inherently more complex, like plumbing and heating. You don't just buy the boiler, you buy, there's another 10 or 15, 20 things that go with that. And, without specialist knowledge or help, you'd never guess. You would absolutely never know which ones to buy with it. You need somebody with experience, knowledge to tell you what to get, and we're trying to get that a bit more baked into the website so that it tells you the other things you need to buy with it to complete the job. Because there's no point going home with half the things you need to complete.
Then thinking, damn,
I need to go back again.
But certainly the big drive over the last 5 years is when we first arrived. There was probably about 3,500 products on the website across all 75 branches. There's now, north of 55,000?
57, I think.
57,000. But that's covering all branches. But the majority of what's online they can see in their yard. There's a tail of probably, there's a lot of branches probably got 80-90% is online, what's in their yard. But you've got a tail of products that might just be local products, special products that we don't always put online. So we're never going to have 100% covered.
Some stuff you can't sell online.
But the majority of the stuff is there. And if they've not got it, we then find it for them. So if it's not online and they're a trades guy, they'll be speaking to the branch anyway. And we can order specials in and get certain products if we've not got them in the yard or we've not got them online. That's what we do as a merchant. We usually always find what the customer needs.
Yeah,
excellent. Going back to what you said earlier about so much percentage of the people that you're dealing with now are the older sort of like generation, and that they're coming up to retirement and such like. How do you attract the next generation into trades,
I don't know. If you work that one out, let us know. But I think, we know there's a massive hole in the trades industry at the minute. There are not as many people are entering the trades as used to. I think I read a stat, it might be wrong, you might want to fact check this, but it was something like there's 72,000 plumbers short in the UK or something like that, and Brexit didn't help that. A lot of the tradespeople went home. There's a huge demand for people, and there's a lot of money in Middle England. There's a lot of people wanting to do the houses up and do refits and extensions and things, and they can't find trusted tradespeople to do it. So I think it's really important we do get more people into the industry. We could be an academy, couldn't we? We could do things where we're training people. We do train people on moving from being plumbing engineers to plumbing and heating, so HVAC, things like air source heat pumps, and going from wet to dry and water to electric type things. And we are trying to retrain some of our customers, but I think it's probably not as glamorous as being a TikToker, maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But it is interesting. I mean, I don't know all the stats, right? But, I was on a customer event with a branch. It was a golf day, right? And there was a hell of a mix of age, a lot of youngsters on that as well. There was young guys from kind of probably 22, 23, and then there was guys, in their 50s like me, probably 60s. There was a wide array within that group. And I've seen that in a few things. I mean, I don't have all the stats, but it didn't worry me when I saw that mix.
Yes.
No, it should be a mixture. I think one of it is where you kind of help them go. So, we offer them advice and we help them with jobs, and they'll come with a problem saying, I've got this job for a customer, I'm not really sure what to do, and the branches will advise and help them, and we'll give them probably more trade credit than they would get from anywhere else. Yes. So we give credit to people who, so you get a trade account, so you get a certain amount of credit within the branches, and we will give some customers trade credit where they wouldn't normally get it. The credit worthiness scores will come back and say, like, don't give them any money, and we do, because we know that these are the business owners of the future. Yeah. So we've got to support them right through their journey from first day on the tools to setting up their own businesses and beyond, because we want to be the merchant of choice for these guys. So, and that's why it's really important that we are part of that community with them, I think.
But again, the knowledge in the store, where does that come from? Do you employ a lot of ex-builders, ex-plumbers, ex-electricians?
We don't employ order takers.
Yeah,
we leave that to some of our competition. We employ time-served experts who really understand the categories. You need subject matter experts in each department, otherwise it doesn't work. Yeah.
And where do you get those people from?
The branches find them.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, they're good at sourcing.
But they've been in there forever, so they know the customers. So we've got branch directors who used to be customers. Just Amlerby, Ian Pratt used to be a plumber. And then they offered him a job and then his own branch. And, there's quite a few stories on that where people have had their own businesses and then we've coaxed them in and, they've had a long and successful career with us.
Yeah. Because running your own business, with today's trials and tribulations, with everything going up price-wise and, national insurance and everything, it is a stretch for anybody at the moment. So if somebody can give them a job with an income rather than having to, trying to fork one out themselves kind of thing, exactly. To use the knowledge that they have.
Yeah, that's it.
It comes down to the culture as well. I mean, I've spent a lot of time in branches and it's a good laugh. There's always energy. It's kind of proper, and it's really good to kind of experience it and sit there and actually see what goes on. I've never walked into a branch and it's been dull and boring. It's certainly quite interesting and quite exciting, actually.
It's like pubs without alcohol some days.
Yes. Well, I need to go into an MKM branch again soon.
It comes down to the culture of the organisation, and again, it comes from the top. If you create that culture, it filters through the whole organisation. Yeah. Because we don't see ourselves as a corporate. You're trying to create that culture within the business that allows people to be entrepreneurial.
Mm-hmm. We tend to employ more people per branch than many of our competitors as well, because we trade on service and relationships. Yeah. So there's nothing worse than standing and waiting around forever to get served or to ask a question. So we try and over-index on that a bit and make sure we're giving people the right service, and they generally come back and turn into loyal customers.
Excellent. So if somebody was considering, going into a trade or something nowadays, would you say an apprenticeship rather than university, or would you?
So I'm sort of going through it, but probably past. I mean, I've got two boys, 26 and 24. And in effect, 26 and 23, so you can edit that or leave it in. Their birthdays have just happened. So in effect, I've got one who's finishing off uni, another one who's working, but you see the change that's coming, certainly with AI and technology. And I think if I'd had maybe got kids who are really young or about to maybe hit their late teens, I can definitely see another, hopefully a kind of more energy behind getting into the trades. Because there is a shortfall. Again, I don't know the stats, but we know there's a shortfall. That I'd certainly wouldn't discourage my kids to get into a trade. And I've got a lot of good friends who are tradesmen, and they earn a great living. They have good fun on their job, and you've got to enjoy it as well. So you're hands-on, you're dealing with customers, you're dealing with different jobs every day. And then there's obviously the whole AI, and I don't know what to call it, whether it's going to be a transformation or the next kind of industrial revolution within technology, but we're embracing it at the moment, and it's kind of unbelievable what it's actually changed. So I think if you're a youngster coming through, either get into AI and tech that way, or you go trades. There's tons of other professions in the world that it'll be steady as well, but I think trade seems very appealing if I was a youngster coming through.
You always need a builder, you always need a plumber, you always need a chippy, kind of thing. You're always going to need those, aren't you?
And they're good jobs. The trades that you want to do.
They won't go away. They can't be replaced by technology either. I think the jobs that I've got two young girls, and their jobs, if they do go into digital or something, their jobs probably don't even exist yet.
Yeah,
which like mine didn't. When I was born, this job didn't exist. It wasn't even a thing. So,
and it'll affect other jobs, and it might dilute some jobs that exist now and won't exist because AI will kind of be able to do some stuff, but it'll also create new jobs. I think AI and technology will always be able to support the trades as well, and for them to be able to do their jobs easier, and estimate better and cost better and various things. But I think I'd certainly encourage it.
It'll be hugely disruptive to our
industry.
What's that? I think it'll be hugely disruptive to all industries, but particularly ours, things like that. And I think there's a few companies out there who do have certain products or services that, if I was running one of those right now, I'd be quite worried because, we've built models that replaces them straight away. So anything that requires calculations or estimations and things like that, we can get something pretty accurate, sort of 90% accurate or 98% accurate within 5 minutes, what used to take 3 or 4, one person 3 or 4 days.
My job's changing almost daily with the tools that we're finding, things that I can do. I can do things a lot quicker. It's kind of eye-opening, but I think you've got to embrace it. If you don't embrace it, you get left behind.
It's exciting, but a bit frightening at the same time, isn't it?
We've been talking about it. You've got to keep it human as well. You can't just trust everything that you're using it for. I know I've turned this now because you talked about would you get in the trades, and I've kind of turned it to AI, but it's not for me. I would probably encourage one way or another. But it is pretty interesting what's happening. Even just the difference in probably 6 months to a year to 2 years, it's pretty. It's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah. It's very cool, isn't it? I think if you go back to apprenticeship versus university, I think universities are less appealing. So we have apprentices, and you get someone straight out of uni. The apprentice has already got 2 or 3 years on them and are way ahead of them.
But then you can do apprenticeship degrees as well, can't you? You can have a job and still,
I think that's a brilliant balance. You can get a job and you can get an education at the same time. I think that's probably if I was looking at my kids, it's like get an apprenticeship. If you want to do a degree and you want to learn and get an honours degree or a first class degree, and you think that's going to help you do your job or later in life, if you could do both, fantastic.
You're getting paid. You're coming out without a huge weight of debt on
well, it was free when I went to uni. That was the other thing. I was the last year that was free, and looking at the fees and what it costed, I just can't see the benefit of it unless you want to be a vet or a brain surgeon or something. It's
I say it is free in Scotland for Scottish people because we pay the tax on it, so our education is. But if you're coming up into Scotland, you have to pay for the uni fees and stuff.
But have you seen, I don't know if you've seen, in branches or asking around, that if like a tradesperson is like a father, is he encouraging his sons to join the business or daughters to join the business kind of thing?
See a lot of that.
Saying, look, I've had quite a good,
it'll definitely happen, won't it?
living out of this kind of thing. It's not going to go away.
No, I mean, I've got 2 sets of trade guys I use, and they're both father and son.
Yeah.
And Big Mike, the builder, he'll turn up and he's doing some landscaping, but he'll work with paper and pen and work stuff out, and his son's got an iPad.
Yeah. Seeing which they'll get there quicker.
And it is. It's just like, and they complement each other and they work well together.
There's no right or wrong way, is
but
it?
yeah, I use a couple of sets like that, and I think it's brilliant to see it.
Excellent. So what's next for MKM then? What's your next
We'll keep growing.
big venture?
Can't tell you that.
Come on,
We'll keep growing. We'll keep going, and I think the value of our business comes from growing the branches, growing the branch networks, and we're there to support that. We from a digital perspective, we're always looking at what tools and things like that, and what processes can we automate? What tools do our customers want and need? How do we we talk about a lot about removing friction, but how do we make better use of their time? So I think as MKM as a traditional business, we're really good at getting materials, breaking them down and getting to the customer when they need them, where they need them, at the right time and at a fair price. We're sort of looking at the stuff before that and the stuff after. So how do you plan jobs better? How do you estimate jobs better? How do you make sure that you're accurately quoting your customers, and then your materials are turning up just as you need them in the right quantities, so you're not having to store more quantities on site than you need to. And then actually, how do we help them with their billing and invoices and tax returns at the end of the year? So we're starting to get a bit more detail into that sort of stuff at the minute.
Wow, excellent.
So it's not just about delivering materials anymore.
Yeah,
So
but still keeping that people.
still keeping it human. Yeah,
There's still tons for us to do.
Yeah, we'll never stop.
Still, it's endless list.
Excellent. And I bet as customers, you learn about a new tool and a new app and a new way of working each day from the customers.
It's internal processes as well. We're looking at, we're going through the various departments in the business and looking at how we can use technology to create efficiencies or make people's lives easier, or things
quicker
like
or smarter or cheaper.
Give people the right insights sooner and things like that. So there's tons and tons of stuff we're at the minute. Probably too much. We just involve ourselves in other parts of the business, don't we?
Excellent. Well, before we finish, I've got some quick fire questions for you. But thank you for what you've shared so far. Piece of business advice best piece of business advice you've ever received. I'll get it out.
Let it fail.
Really?
Yeah. So I think you're always going to come up. You're always going to come up against processes or systems or tools or ways of working that is wrong and that can be done better, and not everybody's going to believe you. So sometimes it's just a case of sitting back, letting it fail, and then offer a better solution. And we sort of live by that, don't we?
Yeah. Either to support.
Yeah.
But again, it comes down to culture.
It's not about saying I told you so, is it? It's
about
quick
fire, but it's not like getting on at people if they don't get it right. If you're giving people permission to fail and test and learn and let them do it, and then don't get on at them for failing.
Yeah, they've tried.
So you create that culture to do that.
Yeah, excellent. So. One app you couldn't live without, or one app when you saw it, you thought that is going to change my life.
One app I couldn't do without. Well, I'll have to admit it. Amazon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Spotify.
I would probably take Spotify over Amazon, to be honest with you, but yeah.
Most
memorable customer interaction. Come on, there must have been loads.
It's not suitable.
I was going to say.
It's not suitable for a podcast.
Really? Oh, no, that's exactly what we want to hear on a podcast. No.
Well, there's probably a few. You spend a lot of time with customers in previous lives doing usability testing, and I remember, I won't name the company, but we spent a long time building a prototype for a tool that we thought customers were going to love, and the customer just said it was shite and we'd never use it, and then we never developed it.
All those hours and blood, sweat and tears I put in, and
we learned a valuable lesson that day, to be fair.
Yeah, took the legs out from under you and that was it. Right.
Yeah.
Never resurface again with that one. Right then, what's one skill everyone should be learning?
One one skill?
Well, I don't know if it's a skill or not. It's probably more of a trait, but I think a massively undervalued skill has been easy to work with.
Yeah.
I was going to say it's a bit kind of business-like to say, but stakeholder management, being able to talk to people, pick up the phone, have a conversation.
Yeah.
Don't shy away from the hard conversations and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's with technology and generations.
So easy just
Hide
to...
behind
It's easy just to text
Yeah.
or email or Teams someone.
And it can get lost in
And it gets
translation.
lost,
You think,
so-
why?
He does it to me. Me and him are having a debate, and then all of a sudden my Teams is ringing. I'm like,
Two phones, but then we recognising each other when it's time to talk.
it's just talk, yeah.
And even with my team, and I coach them on that. But it's easy, it's convenient because we're all busy, we're emailing, we're texting, we all do it.
Yeah.
But it's actually, we shouldn't lose the skill to be able to pick up the phone or have a face-to-face conversation because it's far more, you just can't beat that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't beat it.
One thing businesses worry about too much.
The economy, maybe.
I don't think you
Don't
can
know if
worry
we stop
about that
worrying
enough,
about
can
it,
you?
'cause
You can't do anything about
you
it,
can't predict it.
Yeah.
So I don't worry about it because I think we've almost accepted it. It changes week to week.
It's probably the things you can't control, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you can be mindful of them and you can take measures against them, but worrying about them doesn't solve.
Why worry
anything, does
about
it?
things that you can't control?
Yeah.
It's like look for ways to get around them or counteract them, I suppose.
Excellent. And what's one thing people don't know about MKM?
I'm going to answer that in a different way, but
Go on.
this is 5 years ago, and Andy will think a better answer. But I actually genuinely didn't know who MKM were 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Is that because you were in Scotland? There wasn't.
I didn't either. I'm
Or-
from Hull. I didn't realise how big they were.
I didn't realise how big they
didn't
were,
realise.
and they actually had decent enough presence. Scotland's quite strong with MKM, and quite a lot of established branches. But because they were a local business, you didn't always know they existed because you weren't on national campaigns.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't see it on the television or national on the radio and stuff. But now that we've almost doubled in size, I can't miss them anymore. And even all my friends and family, everybody knows when they see
Photos of yellow trucks every day.
MKM trucks, and I get sent stuff because you now know the brand because it has grown. But then when you know about it, you look for it. Every time I see a yellow truck, is that one of ours? And when I commuted down from Scotland to Hull, occasionally on my journey down the A1, I'll see a different truck from Morpeth or Newcastle, and it's almost feel like waving at the driver, and they'll not have a clue what they are.
You'd be like,
I've usually got the logo on, but I almost feel like, wait. But
Paint your car yellow and put MKM logo on it. If you
so it's not really answering that question, but I didn't actually know who they were as a business. But I now damn sure know who they are.
Yeah.
And we've certainly got a much better presence. And our brand awareness has increased a lot over the last 5 years with kind of, bigger digital and marketing departments and so on. But if that gives you time to think of something.
No, I think probably we've probably covered it anyway, but I think it's probably like the size of the autonomy. The autonomy to us is huge. It's massive.
Yeah.
But right through the entire business, not just in the branches. I think that was the thing that surprised me most, and I think that's why we win. To be honest, we take market share off all our competitors every month, and I think we have for every month. I think since I've joined, we're growing bigger and bigger and faster than them, and we seem to be going against the trends that's happening with the economy right at the minute. And I think I 100% believe that's down to the autonomy we give the branches and the people who work for us. I don't think people realise that. And
It's a bit like you
when people join, they don't really believe it, do they?
Yeah.
You have to actually experience it. When someone comes in and wants a discount, or they're placing a big order and it's too much. I want. They don't have to ring head office. They can make that call there and then at the counter, and that just doesn't happen. To be honest.
Yeah, like we were saying off air, weren't we? We were talking about it. I didn't realise.
That was your reaction, but you're kind of hearing it from us, and you go, "Wow, that is real."
That's not me saying you should negotiate every price at a builder's merchants, but I could.
Oh, I'm not sure I hold out for a big discount next time.
You
I'm
can
at
always
the
ask,
counter.
can't you? If you don't ask, you don't get.
So again, it comes down to relationships. It's what makes the world go round, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that's what you see. And I mean, these events that lots of branches have for customers and suppliers and various things. It's what makes the world go round. It's relationships.
There's another one. Yeah, we take a couple of thousand people on holiday every year.
What?
There's a bunch in. I think they're in Montenegro at the minute. So we've
How
done.
do you get on this trip?
You have to spend quite a bit of money with us. So it's basically a holiday scheme, and the branches decide which customers they take. So I went to Marbella a few weeks ago on one, and there was a golf trip. There was in Tuscany last week or the week before, and there's a bunch of them in Montenegro this week, I think.
So,
Five-star hotels take over the whole hotels usually. And
so if I spend money with you, you're going to take me on holiday?
if you build, a fair few houses a year or whatever, yeah, there's a good chance of that, yeah.
I'm building a summer house at the moment. I might not be on the same league. I might get something like Hornsey rather than Marbella.
They might use some Amazon vouchers maybe or something.
Wow. Didn't realise you did.
Yeah. They're very posh, very, very plush. So yeah, I went on one a couple of weeks ago. It was very nice.
I think I need to get more down to MKM more, don't I?
Well, when you talked about what trades do you want to go into, you encourage people to go into trades, and there's an encouragement for you.
Yeah.
Fabulous. Watch this space. Thank you, guys.
You're welcome.
Really appreciate you taking the time to speak to me today.
Thanks for having us.
And I have learnt so much.
Good.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for watching. If you're looking to see any of the other North of Ordinary podcasts, just check them out wherever you should download them. And don't forget to subscribe. See you soon. Bye.